Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of The Mayor, a Korean political drama from 2017. This film opens with the mayor of Seoul, played by Min-sik Choi, at what seems to be a youth rally. He's rapping and trying to get in good with the younger crowd. But during the town hall meeting, an advertising agent, played by Eun-kyung Shim, criticizes the mayor and says that he should stop the shenanigans and focus more on communicating directly with the voters. An assemblyman, played by Do-won Kwak, takes her under his wing but seems to have ulterior motives as he attempts to maneuver the political landscape for his own purposes. Then we have a ruthless reporter, played by Moon, who works her way into the conflicts that develop. An election campaign is going on. There's a conflict between the mayor's party itself, and then there's some personal scandals that arise. That seems like a pretty boring movie, doesn't it? But it's actually more interesting than you might think. Now, I have read some reviews that have criticized the film for lacking character complexity. So, for example, you got, we don't really know why this particular mayor is so driven. Is it like carving out his place in history? Is it, just a power trip or what? You're not really sure. There's not much elaboration on that, so I can understand that criticism. However, there is complexity in terms of character interaction, because everybody in this movie is almost kind of like a piece on a chessboard, and you're not really sure what moves are going to be made or who's going to be a political casualty. And that's one of the reasons why I enjoyed this film. The script does a good job establishing conflicts and schemes. There are also some well-written exchanges of dialogue in this, and this is true even in conversations with secondary characters. For example, there are a few short conversations involving the mayor's daughter, who does not get much screen time, but they were very effective. A lot of the discussions in this film are about the mentality of politics and how to gain an advantage over other people. And all these underhanded methods are discussed in matter-of-fact ways, because most of the characters are so entrenched in the political sphere that they think it's perfectly natural to royally screw people over. Now, I kind of like that. Now, as you might expect, Min-sik Choi is great in this movie. I read somewhere that he placed his focus on creating a character that had strong presentation skills instead of selecting a specific politician to model himself after. And that was a good choice, I think, because he feels kind of like a normal guy with some questionable morals. And that helps to give him a sense of realism. And if you missed the names of the other actors that I previously mentioned, I'm going to remind you right now, because this movie has a pretty awesome core cast. You have Eun-kyung Shim from Hansel and Gretel, Sunny, and Miss Granny, Do-won Kwak from The Wailing and Asura, the City of Madness, and then Moon from Oasis, Family Ties, and Venus Talk. And all three of these actors are really good in this. Now, overall, The Mayor is a well-made film with some really good acting across the board, but it's not one of my favorites from recent years. And maybe that's because the concept of the film is apparent within the opening 10 to 15 minutes, and it just kind of plays with that concept throughout the entire runtime, which makes it a little bit one-note in that sense. I already know that every politician in real life is a scumbag, so having to sit through a movie telling me that for 130 minutes wasn't exactly enlightening. But the fact that this movie made politics somewhat interesting for me is an accomplishment, because I have no interest in it in real life. And with that said, The Mayor is certainly worth watching. It's available on Netflix streaming in the United States, and it's also available on Region 3 DVD with English subtitles. So I wouldn't say this is like a really high priority item for you, but it's a good flick with a solid cast. So feel free to check it out if it sounds interesting. And as always, I will see you next time.